What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another Watcher of Realms video. My name's Jeremy, and today we are talking about Void Rift, and not like a guide on how to beat it. There's plenty of that. I am not much of a guide guy. I don't want somebody necessarily telling me how to beat or progress through content, but there are certain mindsets and approaches that I have learned that are very helpful. And so that's what today's video is about entering the Void Rift. So let's dive right on into it. All right. So when I first jumped into Void Rift this week, I hit level 40, opened up Void Rift, right? And I immediately jumped into the first battle, which I'm already beyond, so I can't really show you guys where this mindset started, but I can show you the next level of where it progressed to. But in the first phase of Void Rift Normal, phase 1, there is a thing that the boss throws down called Falling Stones. And basically what that is, when you put down any defender, what they do is that Falling Stones occasionally targets your defender and then circles them in a perimeter of squares and drops this devastating Falling Stones thing. And so what I was doing, I didn't look at anything about the boss, anything about Falling Stones. I just started trying to beat the level, right? You know, I got some fully maxed out champions now, or heroes, and I thought I could just bully my way through it. And that couldn't be further from the truth. If you saw Hell Hades' first video, you probably witnessed the same thing. He's just like, I'm just going to get in there and do it. And then like 2 hours later, he's still trying to figure stuff out. And so what I wanted to capture today was really the philosophy behind your approach, right? Because I think Void Rift really changed up the game in Watcher of Realms in a really good way, because it's not all about brute force in Void Rift. So when it came to the Falling Stones in phase 1, what I had to do is I had to sit back, first of all, read everything I could about the boss, about their abilities and all that. So you know, that's one of the first things. You can see there's guide, you got your guides here. And so it tells you, map info, right? You can, just like any other part of the game, your restorer here restores HP for the golem construct with the lowest HP within 2 tiles. So if he gets close to a golem, he's restoring the HP. Okay? Monster info, a peculiar magical race with a human-like appearance and extremely short stature. Okay, whatever. That's the info on the monster himself. Then you got the Crimson Guard. Now, Crimson Guard, deals damage to the target and corrupts the tile. So I didn't read any of this, right? We're not going to go through this one quite yet because I'm still, wanting to discuss this Falling Stones thing. And so once I realized that it was targeting a defender, because there's two crystals that you're protecting, right? And so what I was doing was I was bringing in a defender for each one, and what was happening is anyone I put around the defenders for either healing or to do damage to the ants were just getting absolutely obliterated by Falling Stones. Once I read through everything, then it dawned on me, use one defender, and everyone else, once you see the range of the Falling Stones around that defender, then you place your healer outside of that, right? And then on the other lane, obviously we still have to protect a crystal. So I brought in Valkyra, who I just summoned in my last summoning video, and Zillatu, who I also summoned, as 2 legendary fighters that can still, put up some block, but can also do damage in that lane. And then I surrounded that lane with a healer and some more damage in Setram and Hex. But what I'm getting at is that it wasn't until I sat back and read everything and fully understood the enemies on the map, how their special things worked, that I was able to then realize I can't just brute force this and treat it like any other campaign level and stuff like that. And so jumping ahead to this was another one. I ended up reaching out for help because I got really frustrated because when we go back into the guides for this one, this corrupted tiles will absolutely 2 or 3 shot any of your heroes that are sitting on those tiles. And so what ended up happening is this is where I ended up asking for help on this one from someone in my guild. And we got on a video and he kind of walked me through it, and I realized, holy crap, like this is nothing like the rest of the game. There's actual timing and hero recalls that need to happen. And you wouldn't know that even by reading this. Like, you know that he's going to corrupt tile, continuously dealing damage to any hero position on, but you don't know how bad it is, right? And they got pretty strong magic resistance. So magic champions or heroes to bring these guys down may not be the answer, right? And then you got your uncommon destroyer. You know, these ones are a little bit more apt to fall to your mages and stuff like that. They do physical damage reduction plus 40%. When attacked or awakened by patrollers, it shifts into combat mode, greatly increasing its movement speed. So once you hit these guys, they speed up. So when we jumped in to battle here, let me see, make sure. I don't think I used her. We used Zillatu for sure. Hex. Don't even know that we used Mari. You know what? We'll leave her in for this particular one. But you can see too, this is going to be hard. You know, the BP recommended is 329, but that's the other part of like the mindset and your approach to like these Void Rift levels is this. I really feel like the BP is if you just wanted to brute force, destroy everything, and just go for that speed run. Really, that's where this comes into play, because I can actually fairly easily beat this even on hard now that I understand what I'm going to show you. So my approach now, once we start the battle, and I also love that this doesn't take stamina. You can do this over and over and over again. But what we can do is we can kind of sit here and watch what's going to happen. So obviously we know this dude right here, he's moving real slow. I mean, even on 2x, I mean, he is just slow moving, right? So we're not in a hurry to do anything. So what I'm watching for is, are there enemies that are going to come out of any of these other portals? Okay, so we know that they're coming out of here first. So and it looks like we might have them coming out of that top one as well. And so putting someone here that can do damage in both directions, that's a single target damage dealer, is probably going to be our best bet, because we got to deal with this guy. Because what happens, this guy, if he gets close to these guys, starts recovering their HP, so we don't want him anywhere near them. Look at that, this guy's already doing it here, but that's not a big deal. Now these guys are getting close, so we got to get a defender down here, and we're also going to need a healer, because that golem is going to absolutely destroy him. Now, see these guys up here? I just want to show you guys. So if we're surviving, all is looking well here so far. And what did he just do? Boom, 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 boom. She's dead. It's basically game over at this point. So now that I know what corrupted tile is and how fast it can do it, I know instinctively I need to drop these fools long before they are able to corrupt the tiles. I know that we got 3 of these big old golems that are going to come across here, and we got 2 of the guys that are going to bring up the HP of the golems coming around. So in this first run, in this first observation, right, take your time. Don't just try to bowl through everything. Try to get an understanding, and each time you replay, you should progress a little further into that particular level. So upon restart, what we're going to do now is, I'm still not going to worry about these slow movers, but I do want to get damage over here. Now, these guys are airborne, right? So she can do ground and air, so that's why I bring Zillatu in here. But then I also know I'm going to need Hex. Is it Hex? Yeah, Hex.
Let's see what the cards
Nope.
have in store.
So look at this. So that's where I messed up right there, because now I got all this damage right here that can easily wipe them out. But what's going to happen is once these golems come down this lane, look at his tile placement. He's going to be distracted when I need him full on killing these guys before they start corrupting tiles. So because once they start corrupting tiles, it's game over. So obviously we have to restart again. So now I know I need Zillatu here. And we start with a decent amount of cost, so we'll just wait for Setram. We're going to throw Setram here, and you can use any damage dealer that you have if you're struggling. I'm using Setram because he's one of my best single target nukers right now, and I love him. He's definitely one of my favorites. So instead of putting Hex down here, I'm going to put him up here so that he can cover this lane. Setram has this lane, and then Zillitu is going to get these walkers that come down on the ground level. Let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Now that I have this covered up here, I'm going to start working on getting my Brokir. I'm going to get... Look at that. Look how fast he goes down there. We're going to go ahead and get our healing up here. And let's see here. Now, I had someone else in here when I ran this run originally. But let's go ahead and we're going to make sure these guys get popped before they do their thing. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, and he goes down. So we're good there. But we do not have enough damage coming down here. So I'm going to go ahead and put... See, look at that. He's hardly doing any damage to these guys. That's a GG, right? So we know we got this handled with these damage dealers up here. So we don't have... Once we get these placed down here, now we need to worry about down here. But I need a better damage dealer down here on the bottom to take out those golems. So let's go ahead and quit the battle.
Logic error. Recalculating path to victory.
We're going to challenge again. And I know that I need someone that can do some serious work down on those golems. So who do I have, right? I got Lightlock, who can just do more healing. We got Idril. We got... I'm probably going to go with my man Maul here, because he's probably the best damage dealer I have that is not magic damage. That'll go after those golems a little bit harder. So let's go ahead and get started up here. Setram here, because we don't want him on that bottom tile. We'll 2x this thing. We will get Zillitu out. So, I mean, at the end of the day, though, it's just about your mindset and how you approach each level, because this game really loses its appeal if you're just going to the internet every time you want to know exactly, here's the strategy, just replace these champions, right? It's just not as fun as it is figuring this stuff out. So, my whole philosophy is teach a man to fish, right? And so even though, yeah, you're getting some of the setup strategy for this particular level, I really want you guys focusing on the mindset of how to approach a level so that you are, at the end of the day, getting... We're going to go ahead and use ultimates here, or he's going to corrupt. Oh, nope, he got it off. So we're a goner there, and we're not getting the damage we need here from Maul, and our defender goes down. So that's another GG. So maybe we bring Hex down here to deal his, because he's one of my biggest damage dealers, and let's try Lasir up top, okay? And it really just becomes this test and try on your placement and your timing, because obviously we didn't knock out these guards before they corrupted the tiles. So let's go ahead and we will restart, and we are going to go Zillitu. We are going to go Setram. We are going to go with Lasir. So that should cover the top lane while I deal with the golems. Let's get Brokir down, because he's just an icy brick wall. here.
See what the cards have
Because he can actually stun these guys. But look how much better the damage is coming off of Hex now. So we're actually, you know, doing some work to take him down. We're going to go ahead and ult. And Tile is corrupted. Lasir goes down. Now, that may, with the way I have this set up now, that may be okay. I'm going to go ahead and get a little extra healing down here. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to bust out Setram's ult before these guys have a chance. Look at that. Setram is just such a freaking beast, you guys. Man, I hope everyone gets Setram eventually, because his animations are just so cool. That ultimate is by far one of my favorite ultimates. Okay, so now we're observing. We know, okay, oh, we still got someone coming from here, right? Everything's going well down on the bottom there. We got our Dolores doing some extra heals with Vortex there, and Brokir has no problem surviving each wave of Golem. Uh-oh, but now we have this guy coming out here. What does that mean for this particular run? Uh-oh, we got two. Oh, geez. So look what just happened. So now I got Setram facing this way, and I got these guards coming out from this side. So now it comes down to, do the heroes you have on the bench have the firepower enough to take these down? And, you know, and that's usually the first thing you're going to do, is you're immediately going to start throwing stuff down to try to overcome this particular wave. So, oh my gosh, let's panic and let's, you know, try to get all this. And I can pretty much guarantee you we're going to get both of them corrupted. Both of them are dead. And at this point, you guys, you realize real quick that this is game, set, match, because they look how fast they kill your people. Boom, Setram, boom, 3 shots, dead. So you got 8 of them coming, right? So now it comes down to, I know that there's no way we're going to survive this, and you'll find that out when you let it play out. Now, I don't need to let it play out for the sake of the length of this video, but we're going to do one more replay, because we know now that once we handle these, now they're going to come out of this side. So there's a strategy that I did not even think about when I first started on this level. I was getting so frustrated with this level, I almost gave up on it. So last one here, and then we will call it a day, because hopefully you guys are understanding how to approach these levels. Not necessarily how to beat them, but with your mindset, how to actually approach them from an attack and defense standpoint. We'll get these guys up, so we know we got plenty of time. We know the first wave with the 2 up here is handled. We're going to get our Brokir up here. Drink beer, have a tear. We're going to get him going, because we need to start taking this guy down. We should be able to get Vortex up before he gets knocked out. And we'll bring in Miss Thang, Miss Dolores. Alright, so we got the 2 guards coming in. We don't have to really worry about the 2 all that much. We'll go ahead and pop ultimate here, and even if Lasir gets taken out, we'll be okay. It's the next wave that you really got to worry about. Everything's going well down here, but now I got to time this to make sure Setram has a chance to take all of them out before the corruption happens. Boom, boom, come on, turn. There we go. He's able to wipe out the whole thing. Now, immediately I got to despawn him. And I'm going to despawn her, because we have time. There's nothing coming from up top. But I know the next wave of the most pertinent enemy that we have to take out is going to start coming from this side. So we're going to go ahead and throw our Lasir back up here, because we don't have anything to worry about down here. We do need to take care of that guy, so I don't want him getting down here near the golem. So I'm going to go ahead and throw... Oops. Well, no, whatever. That's fine too, because it'll at least stop both of them until we get Zilla 2 back up. I'm not worried about him boosting these guys because they haven't even started taking damage. But I accidentally one time put Setram here, lost the whole thing. Got to remember the tile placement is absolutely critical. We'll get Zilla 2 down here, and we are ready to start wiping out this next wave because you'll see it's the same. It does the exact same thing. It's the 2 that come out first. Let's go ahead and see if we can't ult him. Boom. So we have no corruption down here. Everything's still going fine on the bottom. Regulus is kind of a wuss. He's barely scraping this guy, but, you know, he's holding him at bay. And then we're going to wait for this just before the 6 come out, and we're going to start wiping these guys off the map. Boom. And that's basically it, you guys. Now we can take Setram off. We'll leave Lasir and Regulus to handle these chowders. Actually, you know what? I'm going to bring Iona because we don't have any more of those to worry about, which you would know if you sat and let it play out. Each time you get a little further, you let it play all the way out to see what's going to come next. And then you start planning for that next wave as you work through it. So rather than just running straight for a guide on how to beat a level, we're going to put her here to start helping work on Golem there. And that's it. That's a dub. So to wrap this up, the mindset is it is a progressional learning of a level when we're talking Void Rift, right? So you start off, you throw your heroes down, you see what comes out. You know, if you have time, just let everything kind of come out, see where everything's coming from, and then that should get you to the next step. And then once you see how it shifts, then you progress to the next step. So don't just run to the internet and look for the answer. Don't look for the answers to the test in the back of the book before you try this strategy. I hope you guys find this mindset and this approach to Void Rift helpful. It probably will help on other parts of the game as well. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your afternoon. If you like this content, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and obviously leave a comment and a like on the video. Have a great one, guys. Appreciate you. Peace.